Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some Oscar wins that left everyone shocked, confused, and honestly speechless. These were the moments when the Academy announced a winner and audiences everywhere thought, wait, seriously? From unexpected upsets to decisions that still don't make sense, today's list will definitely have you questioning how accurate that golden statue really is. If you agree that at least one of these wins didn't deserve the Oscar, drop a 1 in the comments. If you think the Academy got it right, type 0. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more great content. Now, let's jump right in. In 1942, John Ford's film How Green Was My Valley unexpectedly won the Oscar for Best Picture, beating heavyweights like Citizen Kane, a movie that would later be regarded as one of the greatest American films ever made. This choice surprised many fans and critics alike, since Citizen Kane revolutionized storytelling and cinematography, while How Green Was My Valley followed a more traditional, straightforward style. While How Green Was My Valley was praised for its emotional depth and classic filmmaking techniques, it was overshadowed by films like Citizen Kane in terms of long-term influence and artistic innovation. This contrast made many feel the Oscars that year favored safety and familiarity over groundbreaking cinema. The win for How Green Was My Valley remains a classic example of an Oscar decision that sparked debate because it went against popular and critical opinion. It shows that no matter how prestigious the award, fairness and accuracy in judging art are always subjects of lively discussion. In 1953, Cecil B. DeMille's The Greatest Show on Earth won the Oscar for Best Picture, surprising many critics and audiences alike. Despite its grand circus spectacle, impressive visuals, and star-studded cast, the film was often criticized for its melodramatic plot and lack of depth. It famously beat out strong contenders like High Noon, a tight, morally complex Western that many believed deserved the award more. This unexpected win left many puzzled and sparked debates about the Academy's priorities and voting choices at the time. While The Greatest Show on Earth was undeniably entertaining and visually impressive, its Best Picture win remains one of the most controversial in Oscar history. The film's success seemed to favor spectacle and scale over storytelling substance and character development. Over time, critics and audiences have largely viewed this Oscar as a misstep, a classic example of when the Academy's choice didn't align with lasting critical acclaim or popular opinion, raising questions about whether The Greatest Show on Earth was really deserving. When Around the World in 80 Days won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1957, many were left surprised. Directed by Michael Anderson and adapted from Jules Verne's famous novel, the film starred David Niven and Cantinflas. While it was a grand film with stunning, colorful scenes, it didn't really stand out in terms of artistry and screenplay. The storyline was simple and lacked depth, with much of the film focusing on spectacle and entertainment rather than any profound narrative. The reason why Around the World in 80 Days' victory became controversial is that there were many superior films that year, such as The Ten Commandments by Cecil B. DeMille and The Night of the Hunter. These films not only boasted outstanding artistic quality, but also presented deep and emotionally rich stories. However, Around the World in 80 Days still won, which led many in the film industry to question the Academy's criteria and decision-making process for awarding the Oscar. Therefore, this victory remains one of the most debated moments in Oscar history. Some Oscar wins had the audience cheering, but there were also plenty of moments that left viewers just shaking their heads. In this video, we're taking a look back at some of the most controversial and questionable wins in Oscar history. As you watch each case, ask yourself, did they really deserve it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Out of Africa is one of the most controversial Oscar wins in history, and many consider it one of the most embarrassing victories. Although the film received widespread critical acclaim and won 7 Oscars, including Best Picture in 1986, many felt it was not deserving of the prestigious award. Critics noted that while the film had beautiful cinematography and an impressive score by John Barry, the storyline and performances were rather weak, lacking depth, and didn't stand out compared to stronger contenders that year, like The Color Purple. The film's victory is seen as a loss for the more quality films of that year, leading many to view Out of Africa as one of the most embarrassing Oscar wins in the history of the awards. Harry and the Hendersons won the Oscar for Best Makeup in 1988, but this decision sparked controversy and is considered one of the most embarrassing victories in the history of the awards. While the film featured a giant, lovable Yeti portrayed through intricate makeup, many felt the award was undeserved. Films from the same year like Beetlejuice and The Last Emperor showcased more impressive and groundbreaking makeup, offering a more convincing and creative approach. As a result, Harry and the Hendersons' win in this category left many people shaking their heads, feeling that the award was too easily given to a film with a mediocre plot and lacking the innovation of its competitors, making it one of the most awkward Oscar wins in history. When Oliver won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1969, many were surprised and found it controversial. The musical adapted from Charles Dickens's famous play Oliver Twist, directed by Carol Reed, tells the story of an orphan boy named Oliver, searching for family in a harsh society. While the film features catchy songs and some good performances, it was criticized for lacking depth and creativity when compared to other films from the same year. In 1969, there were stronger contenders like Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid and Midnight Cowboy films that not only had high artistic quality but also revolutionized cinema. Oliver was considered lacking in creativity and didn't offer the same profound cinematic experience as its competitors. As a result, its victory sparked controversy, with many feeling the film wasn't deserving of the prestigious award, making it one of the most surprising and debated Oscar wins in history. When Rocky won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1977, many were surprised and found it controversial. Directed by John G. Avildsen and starring Sylvester Stallone, the film tells the story of an amateur boxer from Philadelphia, Rocky Balboa, who struggles to get a shot at the heavyweight champion Apollo Creed. While the film carries a strong message about perseverance and the will to fight, many felt it wasn't deserving of the top Oscar award when compared to other films that year, such as Taxi Driver or All the President's Men, which were highly praised for their artistry and social depth. What makes Rocky's victory controversial is that the film is seen as a simple story with a script that isn't particularly outstanding. While Rocky is inspiring and an entertaining movie when compared to more profound and socially and psychologically challenging films like Taxi Driver, its win has led many in the film industry to question whether the Academy truly evaluates films based on artistic quality or if it prioritizes emotional appeal and entertainment value. As a result, Rocky's win remains one of the most debated moments in Oscar history. When Driving Miss Daisy won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1990, it sparked considerable controversy in the film industry. The film, starring Jessica Tandy and Morgan Freeman, tells the story of the relationship between a wealthy Jewish woman and her black chauffeur in the 1950s. While Driving Miss Daisy was praised for its excellent performances and its message of racial reconciliation, many felt that the film lacked depth and boldness in addressing the significant social issues of the time, especially considering the backdrop of the civil rights movement in the U.S. In 1989, Dead Poets Society and Born on the 4th of July were films that not only had exceptional artistic quality, but also powerful and profound social messages. Compared to these, Driving Miss Daisy was considered too safe and accessible, offering more light entertainment than a deep exploration of racial issues. As a result, the film's win at the Oscars was seen as a conservative and unadventurous choice, making it one of the most controversial victories in the history of the award. When Dances with Wolves won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1991, it sparked a major controversy. Directed by and starring Kevin Costner, the film tells the story of a Union officer, John Dunbar, as he lives and integrates with the Sioux Native American tribe in the 1860s. While the film features beautiful cinematography and a deep message of peace, many felt that it lacked the creativity and depth of its competitors that year, particularly Goodfellas by Martin Scorsese. In 1990, Goodfellas was one of the most highly regarded films in cinematic history, with a sharp script and groundbreaking directing style. In contrast to the long and somewhat slow Dances with Wolves, Goodfellas delivered an energetic story realistically portraying the lives of members of the criminal underworld. As a result, the victory of Dances with Wolves was seen by many as a safe and uninspired choice by the Academy. While Dances with Wolves is an entertaining film, its win for Best Picture over stronger competitors made it one of the most controversial moments in Oscar history. When Marisa Tomei won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in 1993 for her role in the comedy My Cousin Vinny, it sparked considerable controversy. Although her performance as Mona Lisa Vito, a sharp and intelligent Brooklyn girl, was memorable, many were surprised that she beat out a number of established stars like Judy Davis-Husbands and wives Vanessa Redgrave, Howard's End, Joan Plowright, Enchanted April, and Miranda Richardson Damage. In fact, a rumor circulated for many years that the Oscar presenter had mistakenly read the wrong name, and that Marisa Tomei wasn't actually the winner. This rumor was further fueled by the fact that she was the only nominee from a comedy film, while the others were in more dramatic films with greater artistic depth. Many critics later acknowledged that while her role might not have carried the same weight as the other nominees, Tomei delivered a charming, natural, and highly comedic performance that contributed to the success of My Cousin Vinny. Nevertheless, her win is still often referred to as one of the most surprising and controversial moments in Oscar history. Shakespeare in Love won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1999, and this victory sparked significant controversy, with many considering it one of the most embarrassing wins in Oscar history. While the film featured a talented cast including Gwyneth Paltrow and Joseph Fiennes, along with an engaging romantic script about the fictional relationship between William Shakespeare and an actress, many felt that other films from the same year, such as Saving Private Ryan by Steven Spielberg, were more deserving of the award. Saving Private Ryan not only had a deep and emotional storyline, but it was also a groundbreaking cinematic achievement, particularly with the D-Day Normandy landing scene, which is considered one of the greatest war sequences in film history. While Shakespeare in Love provided light and accessible entertainment, the fact that it beat such a monumental war film like Saving Private Ryan led many to feel that this was one of the most embarrassing and undeserving wins in Oscar history. Roberto Benigni's win at the 1999 Oscars for Life is Beautiful remains one of the most controversial moments, and for many, one of the most embarrassing wins in Academy Award history. While his performance as Guido, the optimistic father who protects his son from the horrors of a Nazi concentration camp with humor, was deeply moving and full of emotion, his victory is seen as a surprising and puzzling choice for Best Actor. His main competitor that year was Tom Hanks, who delivered an outstanding and emotionally charged performance in Saving Private Ryan. Many felt that Hanks was the more deserving winner, making Benigni's win a shocking upset. What added to the controversy was Benigni's acceptance speech, where he famously climbed over the seats to get to the stage, creating a moment that was both joyful and somewhat awkward. While some found his enthusiasm endearing, others saw it as disrespectful and inappropriate. His over-the-top reaction made many in the audience uncomfortable, further intensifying the feeling that his win was not only a surprise but perhaps a bit excessive. While Life is Beautiful was a beloved film, Benigni's Oscar victory remains one of the oddest and most awkward moments in the history of the awards. Julia Roberts' Oscar win for her role in Erin Brockovich 2000 remains one of the most controversial and memorable moments in the history of the awards. While her performance as a resilient single mother fighting for justice for environmental pollution victims was praised, many felt that her victory was not entirely deserved. That year, other nominees like Ellen Burstyn in Requiem for a Dream and Laura Linney in You Can Count on Me also delivered outstanding performances, and many believe that Julia Roberts lacked the depth to surpass them. However, despite the mixed opinions, Erin Brockovich gave Roberts the opportunity to showcase a different, stronger, and more relatable image, which ultimately helped her secure the win. Still, her victory remains a controversial topic, with some feeling that other actresses were more deserving that year. When Chicago won the Oscar for Best Picture in 2003, the victory surprised and sparked controversy. While the musical directed by Rob Marshall was praised for its choreography and impressive performances by the cast, many felt it didn't truly deserve the Academy's highest honor. Compared to strong contenders like The Hours or Gangs of New York, Chicago lacked depth in its storyline and artistry, even though it provided a light entertainment experience. In a year filled with films that were strong in terms of script and depth, Chicago was seen as a safe and accessible choice. Although it was an engaging musical, its victory raised questions about whether the Academy truly awarded the prize based on artistic quality or simply the entertainment value the film provided. As a result, Chicago's win remains one of the most controversial moments in Oscar history. Halle Berry's Oscar win for her role in Monsters Ball in 2002 remains one of the most controversial moments in the history of the awards. While her performance as Letitia Musgrove, a grieving widow who forms a deep connection with a prison guard, was praised, many critics argued that her victory was not solely based on her acting, but also on its cultural and historical significance, being the first Black woman to win the Best Actress Oscar. Though it was a groundbreaking moment, it also raised questions about whether her win truly reflected her talent or if it was simply a step toward breaking barriers. Her emotional speech about recognizing Black actresses further fueled the controversy. While it was moving for many, some argued that her win might have been more symbolic than a recognition of the best performance. Although Monsters Ball was well received, many believed that nominees like Nicole Kidman in The Hours or Renee Zellweger in Chicago were more deserving. As a result, Halle Berry's victory remains a debated topic regarding diversity and the acknowledgement of true talent. Crash winning the Oscar for Best Picture in 2006 was a controversial win and is considered one of the most embarrassing decisions in Oscar history. Directed by Paul Haggis, the film explores issues of race discrimination and social relationships in Los Angeles through a series of interconnected stories. While the film was praised for its approach to social issues and the impressive performances from its cast, many felt that Crash did not deserve the prestigious award. That year, Brokeback Mountain by director Ang Lee, a moving and profound film about a same-sex love story, was considered the frontrunner and had much more evident artistic depth. Additionally, Good Night and Good Luck and Capote were also excellent films with strong, meaningful storylines, yet they were beaten by Crash. Despite Crash carrying a powerful social message, it was criticized for lacking the nuance and depth of its competitors, leading many to view it as one of the most awkward wins in Oscar history. Kate Winslet won the Oscar for Best Actress in 2009 for her performance in The Reader, a film adapted from the novel of the same name by Bernhard Schlink. While Winslet is a talented actress with outstanding performances throughout her career, this win still sparked controversy and is considered one of the most embarrassing victories in Oscar history. What's noteworthy is that in 2009, Winslet won the award not only for her role in The Reader, but also as a sort of recognition for her long career after being overlooked in previous years. However, when considering her performance in The Reader, while Winslet portrayed a complex character, many felt that other contenders such as Meryl Streep for her role in Julie and Julia, or Anne Hathaway for her role in Rachel Getting Married, deserved it more due to their deeper and more impactful performances. Many argue that Winslet didn't necessarily deserve to win the award in 2009, but rather it was more of a payback for the Oscars she had been overlooked for in the past. This made her win that year somewhat unconvincing, and it has since become one of the victories viewed as undeserving in Oscar history. The King's Speech winning Best Picture at the 2011 Oscars is considered one of the most controversial victories and is viewed as one of the most embarrassing decisions in the history of the awards. While the film featured an outstanding performance by Colin Firth and a moving story about King George VI overcoming his stutter, many felt that the award was given in a safe manner, lacking innovation. That year, films like The Social Network by David Fincher, with its powerful story about the creation of Facebook, and a sharp analysis of modern society, or Inception by Christopher Nolan, a work of creativity and cinematic technique, were considered more deserving. The victory of The King's Speech is seen as an oversight of more groundbreaking and truly impactful works that year, making it one of the awkward moments in Oscar history. Meryl Streep won the Oscar for Best Actress in 2012 for her role in The Iron Lady as Margaret Thatcher, but this victory is considered by many to be one of the most embarrassing decisions in Oscar history. While Streep gave an impressive performance portraying the former British Prime Minister, many felt that her win that year was not truly deserved. Streep's competitors, particularly Viola Davis for her performance in The Help, also received a great deal of praise for their acting and the depth they brought to their characters. While Streep is one of Hollywood's most talented actresses, many felt that her win wasn't solely due to her performance in The Iron Lady, but rather because of the awards owed to her after being overlooked in previous years. As a result, this victory became one of the most controversial moments, seen as a way to recognize Streep's long career rather than being entirely based on her performance in 2012. Argo winning Best Picture at the 2013 Oscars was a controversial win and is considered by some to be one of the embarrassing decisions in Oscar history. Although Ben Affleck's film about the hostage rescue mission in Iran during the 1970s received praise for its storytelling and performances, its win for Best Picture was seen as unconvincing when compared to other strong films that year. Steven Spielberg's Lincoln, starring Daniel Day-Lewis, was considered a stronger contender due to its depth in portraying President Abraham Lincoln and the important political issues. Additionally, Les Miserables, a grand musical with outstanding performances, also deserved greater recognition. However, Argo won despite the presence of these strong competitors, leading many to feel that the Best Picture award in 2013 was somewhat undeserving. When Brave won the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, many animation lovers couldn't help but feel confused, as Pixar, despite its well-established reputation, took home the award with a story about a stubborn Scottish princess who accidentally turns her mother into a bear. The film had beautiful animation, but the story didn't quite reach the heights of previous Pixar successes like Up or Toy Story 3. Additionally, other contenders in the same category, such as Tim Burton's Frankenweenie, Laika's Paranorman, and Disney's Wreck-It Ralph, offered more creative stories and unique artistic styles. Brave's victory sparked debates about how Oscar votes are often influenced by the strong brand recognition of Disney Pixar rather than true innovation in art and storytelling. While the mother-daughter relationship in Brave and the film's Celtic atmosphere were appealing, the tone and pacing of the movie lacked the deep development that Pixar fans had come to expect. For many animation enthusiasts, Brave's win was a prime example of how the dominance of major studios can overshadow true innovation in cinematic art. When Sam Smith won the Oscar for Best Original Song with Writings on the Wall from Spectre in 2016, the victory sparked considerable controversy. While the song's gentle melody and Sam Smith's vocals were praised, many felt it lacked standout qualities and didn't deserve the prestigious award. Compared to other contenders such as Earned It by The Weeknd from 50 Shades of Grey or Anoni's work, Writings on the Wall was criticized for its lack of creativity and failure to bring anything new to the music scene. The victory of Writings on the Wall also raised questions about the criteria used to judge songs at the Oscars. Unlike previous James Bond theme songs, which became iconic and left a lasting impression, this particular track didn't capture the attention of audiences or critics in the same way. Many felt that the song lacked the boldness and energy that defined earlier Bond themes like Adele's Skyfall or Shirley Bassey's Goldfinger. As a result, Sam Smith's win in this category became one of the most controversial moments in Oscar history, with many believing that other contenders, such as The Weeknd's Earned It or Anoni's song, were more deserving of the award. This sparked a larger conversation about whether Academy voters truly considered the cultural and musical impact of the songs, or if the win was simply a safe and predictable choice. When Suicide Squad won the Oscar for Best Makeup and Hairstyling in 2017, many were left surprised and disappointed. While the superhero film featured impressive character designs like Harley Quinn and Killer Croc, it was criticized for its weak script and lack of depth in its storyline. Although the makeup was certainly standout, many felt that, compared to other films that year, Suicide Squad winning the award was difficult to understand, especially considering the overall quality of the film was not highly regarded. What made this win even more controversial was that the superhero film beat out several other notable contenders. Many believed the Oscar for Best Makeup and Hairstyling should have gone to films with more refined makeup effects and superior artistic quality, such as Star Trek Beyond. As a result, Suicide Squad winning the Oscar for Makeup and Hairstyling became a strange moment in award history, prompting many in the film industry to question the criteria and selection process of the Academy. When Green Book won the Oscar for Best Picture in 2019, it sparked significant controversy. The film, which tells the story of a white Italian-American driver and a black jazz musician in the 1960s, was praised for its message of friendship and racial reconciliation. However, many felt that Green Book lacked depth and was simply a light entertainment story, not strong enough to tackle issues of race and racism in the way other films such as *BlacKkKlansman or If Beale Street Could Talk had done. What made Green Book's victory embarrassing was the doubt over whether the film truly deserved the Academy's top honor when compared to other contenders. While Green Book featured impressive performances and emotional moments, many felt it lacked the depth needed to address complex social issues. As a result, its win became one of the most controversial moments in recent Oscar history. When Bohemian Rhapsody won the Oscar for Best Motion Picture of the Year and Best Actor in a Leading Role for Rami Malek in 2019, it sparked significant controversy. The film about the life and career of Freddie Mercury, the lead singer of Queen, was praised for its musical performances and Malek's transformation into Mercury. However, some felt that Bohemian Rhapsody was not an exceptional film in terms of cinema, with many plot points being cut a simplistic script and a lack of depth in character development. While Rami Malek delivered an impressive performance, many felt that his win wasn't entirely deserved due to the shortcomings in many other aspects of the film. Additionally, the movie didn't fully capture the complexity of Freddie Mercury's life, leading many to believe that the award leaned more toward the emotional impact and prominence of the music rather than the overall quality of the film. As a result, Bohemian Rhapsody's Oscar victory remains one of the most controversial moments in the history of the awards. There's no denying that some Oscar wins have left viewers totally confused. Some made people nod in agreement, but plenty of others remain controversial even today. What do you think? Which win surprised you the most? Drop a comment below, and let's discuss. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. See you in the next video.